Shifting focus for now, will Ukraine's front crumble? Look at the situation on the ground, and that big question comes to the forefront. It's a crucial one. You see, in the east, the Russians are just 8 kilometers away from capturing a key stronghold, only 8 kilometers away. In the west, they have just launched a deadly aerial strike. Needless to say, Ukraine's offensive in Russia's Kursk region is looking increasingly ill-advised as the situation on its front lines is only getting worse. As its prospects dwindle and the US mulls sending long-range cruise missiles, can Ukraine really stop the collapse of its entire front line? Can American cruise missiles, if they arrive, make a difference? Can more weapons help Ukraine alter the war's current strategic landscape? Well, it depends on several factors. Number one, Ukraine is under immense pressure in one of the most critical frontline battles. Right now, it is the east. I'm talking about Pokrovsk. It is a logistical hub and is located at the crossroads of Ukraine's most important rail supply routes. It is the backbone of the Ukrainian defense supply line. The Russian troops are less than 10 kilometers east of it, and they are inching almost every minute. Inching closer almost every minute. The Russian advance follows months of heavy bombardment, also frontal attacks on Ukrainian positions. The rapid advance became possible after Avdiivka fell in the month of February. Right now, it looks like Russia is on the cusp of taking the city. If Ukraine's cross-border offensive in Russia was about turning the tide of the war and drawing off the Russian forces from the Eastern Front, it has done exactly the opposite. Stripped crucial units to take part in the Kursk incursion, leaving Ukraine's Eastern Front line completely exposed in a way to the Russian onslaught. Ukrainian gains in Kursk fall far short of those of Russia in the east. Number two, on Tuesday, the Russian air attack on Ukraine's western city of Lviv killed 7 people, including 3 children. While Lviv region has come under attack repeatedly, attacks directed at the city's historic center, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, have been rare. At least 7 architectural monuments were damaged in the attack. Videos showed charred cars, damaged buildings, streets littered with rubble following Russia's attack on the city. Lviv lies close to the border with Poland, remember. So when Russia launched its airstrikes on Ukraine's western city, NATO member Poland also scrambled its jets. In fact, it was the 3rd time in 8 days that the NATO members' defenses had been activated since Russia stepped up its bombardment across Ukraine. Number 3. Wednesday's strikes in Lviv came a day after the war's deadliest single attack this year on Ukraine. Russia hit a military institute in the central Ukrainian city of Poltava with 2 ballistic missiles. 50 were killed, hundreds others were injured as per reports. Russia's defense ministry saying that the precision strike, as it called it, in Poltava targeted a Ukrainian armed forces center where foreign instructions trained communications, electronic warfare specialists and drone operators. So that basically means that after stepping up its war efforts in Ukraine's east and west, Russia has renewed focus on central Ukraine. No wonder then Ukraine is desperate for long-range cruise missiles. Maria Bezukla, a Ukrainian MP who often criticizes the country's military leadership, has accused officials of putting soldiers in danger. On Telegram, in fact, she asked, I'm quoting, "These tragedies keep repeating themselves. When will it stop?" Quote unquote. You see, the attacks on Wednesday came as President Volodymyr Zelensky embarked on the most sweeping overhaul of his government since Russia invaded in 2022. On Tuesday, the Ukrainian minister in charge of weapons production resigned in anticipation of another defense role, and 4 other ministers stood down in a major government shakeup. It comes during a critical juncture in the war. Typically, these purges have come after losses on the battlefield, but with Ukraine's most battle-hardened troops diverted to Kursk, there was little hope for Ukraine on its own front lines. Russian forces quickly bounced back from the setback that they suffered in Kursk and are now at Ukraine's doorstep. And what's more, Zelensky's own soldiers, lawmakers, military analysts blame him for the rapidly worsening situation across the front lines. You see, since Russia's invasion of Ukraine started, this war has become a battle of attrition in a way, despite its underwhelming military performance so far. The advantages still lie with Russia. Russia, in fact, has a far greater population, a far larger economy, and has proven its ability to produce basic weapons on a scale that the West cannot match. It is clear the Kursk incursion will change little. Kiev cannot replace its losses at the front lines. The question is it time that the two parties sit at the negotiating table, or will we see the collapse of the entire Ukrainian front line before that happens? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.